Yeah, we back. Now today, man, hopefully this not going to be a long video. I'm going to be responding to a comment from a subscriber. He said this, take a look up on the screen. I'm all for us getting along, but as an African American, my people have historically always been Pan-Africanists, but I don't see the benefits. I feel like our interactions always end in diaspora wars. Now, first things first, before we even get started, I just want to say, if a spirit of connection and camaraderie hasn't been established with you and black people around the world, like if that doesn't come second nature to you, then maybe it just ain't in you, bro. Like that's fine. You know what I mean? Because I think, like I said it in a bunch of my videos, people are a product of their environment. You got some black people, they're super Christian, super, white Jesus. You got other black people, they super Muslim. They deep into the Islam. They ready to die for Islam. Allah over everything. And then you got other black people who don't really have any religious or political affiliations. They just living their life, just going through the motions. But everybody is a product of their environment. And I can only speak for me and my experience and my upbringing. Now, take a look up on the screen. You'll see 5 flags of 5 different nations. These 5 different nations, I would say, are the 5 powerhouse colonial nations. They put up the most numbers on the board. They put up the most points on the board as it pertains to colonialism, slavery, colonization. Listen, they took this shit to the championship match, bro. They got multiple MVP titles. These 5 powerhouses right here. Now, in the modern day, it's only about 2 or 3 of them that's really out here doing their goddamn thing still. Spain ain't really out here dominating like that. Portugal fell the fuck off. Portugal a goddamn bum now. But if you are a black person, you can take a look up at the screen and I guarantee you can point at a flag of a nation of men who came through, smacked your ancestors up, and stole everything they got and ran through your woman. And they still got the money in their pocket, in their banks, in their motherfucking vault right now. And they never gonna give it back to you because they think you a bitch ass nigga who ain't gonna do shit about it. And I hate to say it, but they're kind of right, because we still have black men amongst us who don't even understand the importance of having camaraderie and unity among each other on the level of economics and politics. I'm not talking about culturally we got to abandon our flags and our identities. I think people confuse that. But the same way that the Western Europeans have a certain unity and a political cooperation going all the way back to the late 1800s up until the present day, these international institutions, which only exist to carry out their economic and political agendas around the world. When I talk about Pan-Africanism, I'm talking about black men having that same level of unity and cooperation. And for any black man to not see the benefit of that, then maybe you simply were just cultivated in a different environment and an upbringing than me, that you don't understand the importance of that. And that's fine. Everybody is a product of their environment, like I always say. Now, me personally, as a kid, I grew up in an environment where there was a deep amount of love and pride for my culture, a great admiration for my culture and my country. But we always understood that we didn't just pop out of the sky. We didn't just pop out of the ground in the sugar plantations of Hispaniola. The connection to Africa has always been there with me because my grandmother and my mother enforced that upon me. And even though I was born in Brooklyn, my formative years were spent outside the country. So when I came back, when I was 5, 6 years old, when I was a real young kid about to start school, English was not my first language. I did not know English. So in order for my father to teach me English, he gave me a whole bunch of books from a whole bunch of black men around the world, from Nelson Mandela to this dude over here in the islands, from Malcolm X to Marcus Garvey to Martin Luther King. So by the time I was 8, 9, 10 years old, I was already well versed in multiple black leaders from different parts of the globe. I already had that connection built into me. I had already understood by the time I was in the 3rd, 4th, 5th grade that the black man in America is connected to the black man in Africa, who's connected to the black man in the islands, who's connected to the black man over in Europe. They all connected. They all got a similar root, a similar ancestry, a similar struggle against common enemies. I already understood that because I put the pieces together as a kid. I was like, wait, so the French fucked us up. But then the French, they went over to Africa and fucked the Senegalese homies up. And they fucked the Malian homies up. And they fucked the homies in Burkina Faso up. And the British, they fucked the Jamaican homies up. And they went over to North America and they got kicked out. But then their descendants, their grandsons, the white Americans, they fucked the black Americans up. And the white Americans helped the Belgians fuck the Congolese up when they were chopping off their arms and shit. And the white Americans helped the white South Africans fuck up the black South Africans. And the white Americans still to this day are helping the French fuck up the West Africans. And the white Americans and the Spanish and the Portuguese and the Germans all came together at different times to fuck my people up. And the British went over to Ghana and Kenya and Nigeria and fucked the homies over there up too. And then after they was done fucking them up, they robbed them of all their shit and put it in the museums, and we gotta go pay to go see them in the modern day. And then after all that shit, they went and created the UN, they went and created NATO, they went and created the World Bank and the IMF and all this shit to still fuck us up. And then from the 19th to the 20th century, they put out a bunch of literature, a bunch of pseudoscience, a bunch of imagery, a bunch of media to destroy our image around the world. So by the time I was 11, 12, 13 years old, I already came to the conclusion. I was like, I bet we at war. We at war. These niggas still aggressing upon us still to this day. I bet. We at war. And in order for me to combat this war, my brothers got to be on the same accord because they're attacking my brothers too. So I already had a Pan-Africanist orientation from a young age, bro. From a young age, it was second nature to me. It wasn't something that I had to think about. It was like the same way the Jews got love for Jews around the world. You don't got to tell a Jew, like a Jewish man is not gonna go to another Jewish man and ask him, damn, bro, so could you tell me the benefits of like Jewish people loving other Jewish people? I don't really understand the benefits. Could you explain it to me? And I use that community as an example because they are a community of people that have different cultural and national backgrounds, right? You got Jews in France, you got Jews in Germany, you got Jews in Haiti, you got Jews in the United States, you got Jews in Canada, you got Jews in Africa, all over the goddamn world. But they understand we have a common connection and a common ancestry, and we've also been invaded upon, and we also been aggressed upon by different foreign powers that try to annihilate us. So because of that, because of our understanding of that, we have to operate in a manner of cooperation to ensure our survival. Not only our survival, but our prosperity as a people. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, after they were done fucking us up, then they sat together at the dinner table and chopped up Africa and said, nigga, you get this piece of cake. Nigga, you get that piece of cake. Nigga, you get this piece of cake. Let's eat, bro. Let's eat. Now, in this video, I'm going to be reviewing an old video I put out months ago entitled, take a look up on the screen, Tariq Nasheed Destroys Pan-Africanism, FBA Debunked. Go check that video out, almost 2 hours long. I already debunked this question a while back because this is a Tariq Nasheed talking point, right? My people been Pan-Africanists. I don't understand the benefits. Well, Tariq Nasheed, damn near 50 years old, don't understand Pan-Africanism. Maybe you're just not a Pan-Africanist at heart. You just weren't raised to be. It is what it is, you know? Like, it is what it is. You know, my parents kind of indirectly raised me to be that, you know, just by accident, just by raising me in a certain way. So maybe it just ain't in you, bro, and that's fine. But anyways, I'm going to review some clips from this video, and then, yeah, I'm going to come back on my commentary. Let's go.
And I want justice for people worldwide. But here's the thing about Pan-Africanism, Brother Rock. Pan-Africanism, if we're going to be honest, as a whole, it has always been one-sided. We have been the ones pushing the Pan-African line as a collective. Yes, you might get a Gauvin. Yes, you might get a Stokely Carmichael. These are outliers from those communities. We've been the only ones doing that. Even now, in some of these Caribbean and African nations, they're so tribal over there, they can't really get it together with each other there.
Leave Pan-Africanism out your mouth. Now today, the first letter we're going to jump into is a letter written by the honorable, the illustrious, the legendary General Jean-Jacques Dessalines himself. Let's jump into it. Liberty or death. Government of Haiti, the first year of independence. The Governor General, considering that a great number of native blacks and men of color are suffering in the United States of America for want of the means of returning, decrees there shall be allowed to the captains of American vessels the sum of $40 for each individual they may restore to this country. He orders that this decree shall be printed, published, and posted up, and that a copy thereof be immediately forwarded to the Congress of the United States by the Governor General. Signed, Dessalines. Now, all right, we back. Now that right there was the first time Pan-Africanism was enacted in political form. All right, when I talk about Pan-Africanism, that's what I talk about. I'm not talking about wearing African clothing and wearing African jewelry and dancing and listening to Afro beats. When I talk about Pan-Africanism, I'm talking about black men from different parts of the world cooperating amongst each other for our common benefit and our common interest against our common enemies. Dessalines was never enslaved under no white American, under no Britishman in North America. He don't know shit about that. Dessalines never went to North America a day in his life. Born in Haiti, raised in Haiti, died in Haiti. When he wrote that letter to Thomas Jefferson offering to pay the freedom of every black man or woman in North America, he never even met a black man or woman from North America. He just heard about black people in North America were enslaved. He just heard about it. But due to the fact that he understood the common struggle that we all shared around the world, one of his first actions as a head of state was to jump into the bank and be ready to spend a check to pay for his brother's freedom. Now, when I talk about Pan-Africanism, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about having love for my brother wherever he's located, wherever he's from around the world. And if there's anything I can do to support him and push him forward, I'm going to do that because I understand that his success is my success. His misfortune is my misfortune. His enemies are my enemies, and they both want all of our common destruction. Now, let's get back into it. Prince Saunders was an African-American teacher, scholar, diplomat, and author who different sources say was born in either Lebanon, Connecticut or Thetford, Vermont. During his life, Saunders helped set up schools for African Americans in Massachusetts and also in Haiti for King Henry Kristoffs. During his time in Haiti, Saunders also penned the Haitian Papers, which were a translation of the Haitian laws with his commentary. He was a proponent of black immigration to Haiti, where he became a naturalized citizen. Because of his influence in establishing schools for African Americans, Saunders was one of the most significant black educators in the early 19th century in the United States and in Haiti. He lived his last days in Port-au-Prince, where he died in 1839. All right, we back. Now, that shouldn't be new information to anybody because I've mentioned Prince Saunders at least 2 to 3 times in the past 2 to 3 weeks, okay? We already understand Attorney General in Haiti, born in the Northeast United States. And in my opinion, that is what Pan-Africanism is about. It's about opening doors for your brother. The brothers down on the island, they opened doors for the brother, and he ended up becoming an international diplomat, corresponding with foreign governments, traveling all over the world, establishing centers of learning, and it was under Kristoffs' government, where he was a part of, that's where vaccination was introduced into Haiti for the very first time. Kristoff had sent him over to London, and he came back with vaccination. And the beautiful thing was, during that time, our ancestors, regardless of their cultural or different national backgrounds, listen, they saw themselves as black men under a common struggle against common enemies, right? Even though my adversary might be the French and your adversary might be the British or the white Americans, listen, at the end of the day, we black men. And these white boys, they all want our common destruction. They want us annihilated. They want us under their boot, under subjugation, and we can't let that happen. So they had a different type of consciousness during that time. They were accomplishing things that black men in the modern day with modern technology can't seem to accomplish, even with way more resources at their disposal. That's why I call you niggas dumb as fuck every chance I get, because if our ancestors with no technology, no motherfucking cell phones, no smartphones, no information available at the click of a button, no airplanes, all they had was some goddamn ships and some handwritten letters that took 2 to 3 months to even arrive at the destination, and they did way more fly shit, way more extravagant shit than we got right now in the modern day. You niggas is dumb as fuck, and you niggas deserve to be at the bottom of society because you niggas is dumb. Now, let's continue. Let's take a look at this letter written by King Henry Kristoff, the King of Haiti, and it was written to Mr. James Moore, the director of the British National Vaccine Establishment. The letter starts out by saying, "Sir, Mr. Prince Saunders," spelled here Prince Sanders, "has presented me with the work which you sent me on the smallpox. I have accepted this work with pleasure, and thank you infinitely for your honorable and obliging attention and the interest which you evince for the Haitians. The precious discovery of vaccination is too important to human life and does too much to honor humanity, not to induce me to adopt it in my kingdom. On the arrival of Mr. Prince Sanders, I put vaccination in use with the view to make it generally followed by the Haitian practitioners. We have an innumerable quantity of children to vaccinate. It is my intention to give every possible latitude to the happy results of this immortal discovery, which I had not hitherto been able to put in practice, in consequence of the disappointment which I met with in the applications I made at Jamaica, St. Thomas, and in the United States of America, relative to this object, the salutary effects of which I am well acquainted with. This benefit will still add to the gratitude of the Haitians for the great and magnanimous British nation. I have charged Mr. Prince Sanders to testify to you, personally, my sincere thanks. Signed, Henry." So that right there is an example of two black men from different backgrounds under a common struggle against a common enemy, but willing to collaborate and work as a team to nation build, to build a society. Not only to maintain their independence and sovereignty, but also to establish a level of prosperity among their people, right? This is nation building type shit. We're trying to make advances in medicine for our people. Black men ain't thinking about that in the modern day. What a black man out here trying to discover the new discoveries and vaccinations. You know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't even thinking about that. That's why I say we are not even half the men that our forefathers were, bro. They were on another level. Nowadays, we got niggas asking me, "Hey, bro, what's the benefit of Pan-Africanism?" I don't understand. Bro, I'm telling you, it's not meant for you to understand, bro. It's not meant for you to understand. Anyway, let's continue. When Clarkson heard from an American friend of a project to send free people of color from the United States to Haiti, he saw another opportunity to be of service. He pointed out to Kristoff the substantial advantages of increasing his population by these immigrants from the United States. They would assist materially in introducing the English language into the Kingdom of Haiti, and since many of them were skilled workers, they would prove useful by their example. Clarkson also wrote to Richard Peters, the president of the Triennial Convention, a congress of various abolition societies in the United States, urging him to send delegates to Haiti for the purpose of investigating the conditions there. Nor was this all. He suggested that the United States might be prevailed upon to purchase Spanish Santo Domingo as an asylum for free American Negroes, and then to cede it to Kristoff. Such an arrangement would both enlarge Kristoff's territory and enhance his reputation abroad. Nothing came of Clarkson's hopes. A revolution in Spain put an end to any chance of selling Santo Domingo, but it is extremely unlikely that the United States would have considered such an arrangement, with a black king, of course. Yet Kristoff received Clarkson's suggestions and wrote through Lemonade to American abolitionists, offering to defray the cost of the Negro immigrants, whom he was willing to receive without any stipulation regarding the Spanish part of the island. Now pause right there. Listen. I know, Tariq, I know it feels crazy being referred to as an immigrant, right? But yes, you guys were the Negro immigrants back in the year 1819. You guys, yes, the FBA, y'all were known as the Negro immigrants, because the black man down in Haiti, he was having money, he was having jewelry, he was having ice, he was having property, he was having land, he was having government, he was having armies, he was having navies, he was having military, he was having women, he was having everything he needed, everything he wanted in the year 1819. And guess what? The brothers in America, they wanted a piece of the pot too, and we had our arms open. We were willing to put money down for our brothers to come enjoy with what we accomplished, bro. With what we accomplished, we were willing to put our money up, the government, state money. We were like, yo, bro, we'll put the money up just for our brothers to come through and live a better life with us, bro. A place where we could live free and in peace, away from our European enemies. And then all right, we back. Now, I spoke on this in my video towards Philip Scott, but yeah, the first wave of immigrants from the United States that was supposed to come to the island of Hispaniola, it was supposed to be in the year of 1820. And that little passage right there was from 1819, where Kristoff was corresponding with politicians in Great Britain, such as Thomas Clarkson, and they were trying to figure out a way to not only transport the immigrants from the United States over to the island, but how to settle them in once they arrive. Thomas Clarkson threw out multiple ideas, and he even offered to approach the United States to purchase the Spanish side of the island and then sell it to Kristoff so he could have more territory. But Kristoff, being the G that he was, Kristoff being the Pan-Africanist that he was, he said, listen, I don't even need that part of the island. I don't even need all that shit. In fact, I'll pay the money myself. I'll write the check myself. All expenses paid by the government. Because Kristoff was an authentic Pan-Africanist. And in a way, I feel insulted that this dude came into my comment section and really asked me, what's the benefits of Pan-Africanism? Because he doesn't see the benefits. I'm like, okay, bro, you don't see the benefits. I should be asking him that shit. Because my forefathers did a whole bunch of shit in the name of Pan-Africanism. And niggas, we ain't get shit back. These Tariq Nasheed dudes, these FBA dudes always talking about Pan-Africanism is one-sided. We the real Pan-Africanists. I'm like, bro, you ain't put in half the work that Dessalines and Kristoff put in the name of Pan-Africanism, but you talking about, nigga, I don't understand the benefits. My nigga, I should be asking you that. As soon as the Haitian government was established, government funds were being used in the name of Pan-Africanism. But he wants me to explain the benefits of Pan-Africanism. Well, go ask Prince Saunders the benefits of Pan-Africanism. Go ask Frederick Douglass the benefits of Pan-Africanism. Go ask the multiple thousands of families that immigrated over to the island between the years 1825 and 1861, the benefits of Pan-Africanism. Go ask Bishop Theodore Holly, who died in Haiti, who's from the United States, that pastor from the United States. I feel like a lot of these questions wouldn't even need to be asked if we just had a basic understanding of history and geopolitics. And I understand in school we don't learn these basic things, but if we did, we wouldn't be asking these questions. That's why I said the Jewish man is never going to ask a fellow Jewish man the benefits, because as soon as he's 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, they're already teaching that young Jewish child the importance of loving and having camaraderie among your people. So by the time he's a grown man, it's second nature to him. He doesn't even have to think about it because it's operating in his subconscious mind. I have to love my people wherever I'm located on the world. I even spoke about in a previous video how a Haitian Jewish billionaire was able to gain private access to a private port in Haiti simply due to his connections to Jewish senators and congressmen in the US government. Even though Haitian Jews and American Jews have different cultural backgrounds, they have a common identity and a common camaraderie simply due to their history as a people and what they've been through. For many of them, the Holocaust serves as a point of unity to rally around each other. But us, what we've been through, the transatlantic slave trade, colonization, apparently we too goddamn stupid to understand the importance of having at least some basic level of cooperation among each other as a people, at least economically and politically. But anyways, man, let's get back into it. We're going to start at the bottom where I got it highlighted. Now, this is a letter written by King Henry Kristoff himself, as you can see, to Thomas Clarkson, British diplomat, British abolitionist. And the part I highlighted says, though it is only with the greatest grief that I can bear to see Spanish vessels engaged in the slave trade within side of our coast. It is not my intention to fit out ships of war against them, because I should never wish to give our enemies any excuse of molesting us. You are aware that they watch each and our every action, and that nothing would make them happier than to find some way of discrediting us in the eyes of the world. Kristoff wrote to the British government telling them, bro, I'm over here, bro, every damn day I'm waking up, I'm drinking my rum, I'm smoking my cigar, I'm up in the Citadel, I look across the coast, I look across the harbor, you know, I got my Navy patrolling the sea, but at the same time, I'm seeing slave ships still pulling up to the Dominican Republic, dropping off black men, women, and children. And to be honest, bro, I'm ready to hop up in the damn warship and I'm ready to go to war. But you know, if I go to war, I know that's gonna have the media in a frenzy. You know, I know that's gonna have Europe in a frenzy. They're gonna be like, man, that boy Kristoff down in the island, you know what I'm saying? He causing trouble. So, you know, what should I do? What should I do? Yo, so listen, this is what the black man back in the 1819, 1818, 1820 was talking about and doing, bro. He was talking about fitting out ships of war to intercept and rescue enslaved men, women, and children from European slave vessels, bro. Tell me that. All right, we back. Now, I covered this in a video I put out a couple weeks ago entitled, take a look up on the screen, The Untold Story of Black Men Fighting Against the Slave Trade. And in that video, I spoke about the many military exploits of Kristoff and the Haitian Navy going across the oceans and seizing the vessels of Spanish and Portuguese slave traders. And in that letter that I just read, that was a letter that Kristoff wrote to the British government, basically telling them, bro, I'm over here every goddamn day. I'm seeing these slave ships pulling up to the Spanish part of the island, and nigga, I'm getting pissed off out this motherfucker. I'm getting pissed off, and I'm about to ride down at any given moment. I'm telling you right now, I'm giving you the warning. I'm thinking about it. And go check that video out for a more in-depth analysis, right? But this dude wants to ask me what's the benefits of Pan-Africanism. Let's go ask those hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Africans that were rescued off them slave vessels what was the benefit of Pan-Africanism when Kristoff was sending ships into the ocean to rescue them out their bondage. Kristoff was born in the European colonies. He never set his foot in Africa. He never ever went to Africa. but just the fact that he understood the camaraderie that he had, not only amongst black men in the colonies, but also the black men coming out of the continent on them slave ships into the colonies. He looked at all of them as family. So much so that he was willing to take money out the government and put resources out into the ocean to rescue our people out them fucking slave ships. And he was mainly attacking Spanish and Portuguese slave ships. He wasn't really going after the French slave ships. The French weren't really sending them ships over there like that, bro. They didn't really have too much, the French didn't really have too much activity in the Caribbean Sea after they got kicked out of Haiti. So it was mainly the Spanish and the Portuguese that Kristoff was attacking. Kristoff was never enslaved by the Spanish or the Portuguese, but just the fact that black people from another location were under subjugation under the Portuguese and the Spanish, he did what he could. And because of his actions during his time in government, hundreds, potentially thousands of Africans were rescued out of the shackles of bondage, bro. Many of those Africans went on to start families and have children, and their descendants are walking around today. So don't tell me what the benefits of Pan-Africanism was, nigga. The benefits of Pan-Africanism is written in the history books for you to go read about, motherfucker. Yes, the Europeans erased it from the history books, but I gave you the information for free, and it's available for free. Well, sometimes you gotta pay. Sometimes it's some exclusive shit behind a paywall, but nigga, it's not that much. It's only a few dollars. Anyways, man, let's get back into it. Let's read this quote by Frederick Douglass. And I believe Frederick Douglass served as the consul or the ambassador to Haiti from the United States in the 1890s, if I believe. Look that up if I'm mistaken. But let's talk about what Frederick Douglass said. We should not forget that the freedom that you and I enjoy today is largely due to the brave stand taken by the black sons of Haiti 90 years ago. Striking for their freedom, they struck for the freedom of every black man in the world. Of course, and a black woman too. The black woman was on the field of battle too. The black woman had her machete in her hand too. The black woman had the shotgun in her hand too. The black woman was shooting the Frenchman in the head too. The black woman was poisoning the Frenchman in his food too. All right, we back now. I don't got to provide too much commentary in regards to that. Listen, the brother wants to know what's the benefits of Pan-Africanism because his people been Pan-Africanists for so long and they don't understand the benefits and things like that. You know, you don't see the results or whatever. Bro, listen, maybe it's not for you to see. Maybe that's fine, bro. Maybe that's fine. But Frederick Douglass, he understood that. And last time I checked, Frederick Douglass is one of your big generals, one of your top shotters. You know what I'm saying? In terms of your forefathers. So Frederick Douglass understood. So as long as Frederick Douglass understood, that's all that matters, bro. That's all that matters to me. You know, big up to Frederick. Now, let's continue. Now, let's get to another key figure of the 1800s that is not really talked about. Pierre Joseph Marie Granville, let's talk about it. Also known as Jonathan Granville, let's go, was a Haitian educator, legal expert, soldier, and a diplomat. He was born a free mulatto in Saint-Domingue. He was a musician and a poet, a skilled swordsman, a diplomat, a civil servant. From about 1806 to 1815, Granville served under Napoleon as a junior officer during the Emperor's campaign in Germany, France, and Austria. After the Bourbon Restoration, he returned to Haiti with his mother and his sisters, where he quickly entered into the service of General Alexander Pétion's government. In 1824, he visited the United States to promote the immigration of free blacks to Haiti. At his return in 1820, immigration plans, when Haitian President Jean-Pierre Boyer, in collaboration with Joseph Balthazar Insignac, extended an invitation for U.S. blacks to settle on Hispaniola, Granville served as emissary, playing a major role in Boyer's plans. Haitian leaders believed free blacks should migrate to Haiti instead of Liberia, where the ACS promoted as the preeminent location for immigrants. With tension growing between the ACS and Boyer used Granville to seal his plans for the free blacks of the U.S. In May 1824, Granville was sent to Philly in an attempt to encourage free blacks to migrate to Haiti, along with 50,000 pounds of coffee. Boyer provided Granville with the fund to pay in full the migrant passage to Haiti. Listen, bro, the black man was like, bro, 50,000 pounds of coffee, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Man, listen, ain't no... Granville's appeals to blacks in Philly began and soon spread to New York and Boston. His message highlighted the benefit that Haiti provided and eventually spread to Baltimore and Indiana. With the backing of the Haitian government, Granville and his companions, Prince Saunders and Loring Dewey, guaranteed the migrants economic prosperity in Haiti. They were also promised free passage, provision for several months, and 3 acres of land apiece. Other incentives included higher wages for artisans, a guaranteed 6 to 12 Haitian dollars per week, and $40 per family for simply taking the voyage. Granville, along with his colleagues, preached in churches, fraternal halls, and amongst mutual aid societies. This created excitement for many black Americans and soon spread to many important figures and leaders in the black community. Granville won over many influential people, such as Nicholas Biddle, president of the Second Bank of the United States, merchant Prince Stephen Girard, merchant David Corey. Also, lending their support to Granville were the Marquis de Lafayette and Scottish reformer Francis Wright, with impeccable manners and an ability to keep his feelings to himself. Unlike, you know, the Tariq Nasheed supporters who are very emotional and irrational, you know. Granville was able to work with and convince others. Granville was often confused about the way black Americans lived and the things that concerned them, especially their constant disagreements about religion. Feeling uncomfortable surrounded by whites who frequently mistreated him, Cause the black man in Haiti, he's used to, being being respected on his territory. He's used to feeling like a man when he walks outside. He's used to being a man in power, a man in dominion. So when he goes to the United States and these white boys is looking at you funny and bumping you on the shoulder and talking about you can't eat at the freaking restaurant, you can't eat at the burger spot because you a black man, even though you a light skinned man. But even then, you still getting disrespected. So yeah, Granville was not used to, being disrespected in the racism, because the black man ruled in Haiti. So we don't got no white man, punking us around back in Haiti. So Granville was like, I don't understand this. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, let's get back into it, man. Feeling uncomfortable surrounded by whites who frequently mistreated him, Granville often requested Boyer to relieve him of his duties in America and allow him to go home to Haiti. Boyer repeatedly denied his request, instructing him to finish the work that he began. Listen, bro. Listen, Boyer was like, listen, we got to get our brothers up out of there. Listen, stop being a punk. I know them white boys, they talking about you can't go shop at the mall because you a black man. You got to go shop at the blacks only mall. You can't go to the white coffee shop. No, you got to go to the black coffee shop. You got to get the green book. You got to make sure you don't go to the sundown towns. The black man, the black Haitian man, he's like, I don't understand this, bro. Like, I'm used to walking around wherever I want. I'm used to having it in my way. I'm used to getting respected everywhere I go. I don't understand this. I want to go home. You know what I'm saying? Jonathan Granville was like, I want to go home, man. I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling this. Let's get back into it. One incident during his mission in the U.S. was Granville's encounter with a lieutenant from the South. While dining at a restaurant in New Brunswick with his colleagues, Granville was addressed inappropriately and rudely by the visiting lieutenant. The Boston Commercial Gazette records the incident as such. Observing Mr. Granville at his elbow, the officer remarked, "Sir, are you not aware that it is contrary to custom for white men and colored people to eat at the same table?" He continued to insult Granville by declaring that he would not eat with a Negro. Granville maintained his composure. Granville responded, "Sir, I am an officer also in my own country, and if I were there, it would be part of my duty, sir, to take into custody those Haitians who insult strangers." The lieutenant later realized his mistake and wrote a letter apologizing for his behavior. "Yeah, punk." Granville responded, "Sir, I write insults in the sand and favors on marble." Many came to regard Granville as a man of honor. This officer has conducted himself with the greatest circumspection and has made every favorable impression on the minds of our citizens with respect to his character and talents. Jonathan Granville left a lasting impression on many people in the United States, both black and white. Mr. Walsh of the National Gazette said the following about Granville: "We have had the pleasure of conversing with and formed a very favorable opinion of his understanding and feelings. He is himself a man of color, but his information, diction, sentiments, and manners place him upon the level of the good society of any country." According to the Newburyport Herald, many were fond of Mr. Granville and the work he did. It is due to Mr. Granville to state that, from the day of his landing to the day of his embarkation, we have not heard a whisper against him, although we have heard much in his favor, not only as to the manner in which he had executed the duties of the delicate and important mission, but as the general deportment. Granville's work in the United States was instrumental in the success of Boyer's plans for Haiti. Through his demeanor, he not only left a positive impression as a distinguished gentleman of color, and also left a lasting positive impression upon the United States. Let's get back into it. Granville was directly responsible for the first ships that sailed from the U.S. with migrants. On August 23, 1825, the ship Charlotte Corday left with 30 families on board. Later, Granville, along with other immigrants, finally left Philadelphia for Haiti. After Granville's stay in the United States, approximately 6,000 blacks left for Haiti. All right, we back. Now, I mentioned this brother right here in my video against Philip Scott. I spoke about a gentleman named Jonathan Granville, who in 1825, he was responsible for the transport of thousands of black American families that made their way over to the island of Hispaniola, right? We know in 1825, them white boys was going crazy, lynching people, niggas was in slavery, bro. It was all bad. So, we open them doors for our people, bro. We open them doors for our people. And that is what Pan-Africanism is about. That's all it is. It's not that complex. Now, of course, in this video, I'm using big examples, institutional examples of Pan-Africanism, right? Because we always talk about institutional racism, institutional white supremacy. Well, in this video, I'm talking about institutional Pan-Africanism, right? Where governments are taking specific actions in the name of Pan-Africanism. Now, as an individual, Pan-Africanism looks different, right? From a person to person, supporting your people on an economic level, supporting their businesses, their economic objectives, things like that. That's on a person-to-person basis. In this video, I'm talking about large-scale institutional levels of Pan-Africanism, right? I'm giving you the big examples. And I just want to ask the brother who posed the question, what's the benefits of Pan-Africanism? Well, listen, before you go to sleep tonight, get on your knees and communicate with your ancestors and ask them what the benefit of Pan-Africanism was back in the early 1800s, the mid 1800s, shit like that. They'll talk to you because my ancestors, they be talking to me. I communicate with them. I be reaching out. In fact, they give me a lot of inspiration to make these videos. A lot of times they're using me as a physical vessel to transport a message. So, bro, talk to your ancestors and ask them what the benefit of Pan-Africanism was. All right? Don't ask me. Don't ask me. Me personally, Pan-Africanism, it's second nature to me. It's second nature. I read the literature of my ancestors, and how could I not be a Pan-African? I look at the achievements of my ancestors. How could I not be a Pan-African? For me to not be a Pan-Africanist, it would be to disrespect my forefathers. It would be to slap my forefathers in the face for me to not be a Pan-Africanist. It's in my blood to be a Pan-Africanist. If other black men don't understand that, that's fine. That's fine. Like I said, everybody is a product of their environment. And me, I'm a product of my environment. And because of that, I'm a Pan-Africanist. And ain't nobody gonna switch me off my position. Now let's get back into it. Let's fast forward to the late 1800s, early 1900s. Benito Silvan, let's talk about it, man, was a Haitian journalist, born in Port-au-Prince, a diplomat, a lawyer. He was also one of the organizers of the 1900 Pan-African Conference. Silvan paved the connection between Afro-descendants and Africans and became a representative for these groups that were colonized by France. He is arguably considered to be a pioneer of Pan-Africanism. Benito Silvan was born in Port-au-Prince in 1868. In 1887, around the age of 19, he finished his studies in Paris at the College Stanislas, then attended law school, where he obtained his license and then his doctorate. Supported by his country that appoints the officer of marine as secretary to the embassy in London, Silvan founded in Paris in 1890 a weekly committed against French colonialism, La Fraternité. In 1897, Silvan, staying in Ethiopia, became the aide-de-camp to Emperor Menelik, who defeated the Italians at the Battle of Ottawa. Silvan represented both Ethiopia. All right, we back. Now, in that clip is another excellent example of Pan-Africanism, right? We got the good brother, General Benito Silvan, a good brother who studied in France, and while he was in Europe, he started a media publication. I believe it was called The Fraternity or something like that. It was a newspaper that came out every week speaking against French colonialism. He was in France banging against the French colonial power structure as a young brother in his early 20s. During that time, I believe he was only a college student or maybe just coming out of college. He never set foot in French West Africa. He never set foot in Africa. But even as a young brother in the late 1800s, he had a certain connection and commonality and camaraderie amongst black men around the world, to where he had started a media publication in his early 20s advocating for the brothers on the continent, because he understood that at that time they were going against the same French colonial power structure that his ancestors had defeated way back in 1804. Those same Frenchmen during the late 1890s, they were in French West Africa causing a whole bunch of chaos, causing a whole bunch of trouble. That was around that time when the French were establishing their colonial empire in West Africa. So that right there is an example of Pan-Africanism. All you got to do is support your brother, show love for your brother. And if your brother is going through something, then have his back. Because Benito Silvan understood those same Frenchmen that were trying to subjugate my people that we defeated, now they over there trying to subjugate a different population of black people. And even though I'm free, I'm independent, I can do my own thing, I'm still gonna ride for my brothers overseas. And not only that, Benito Silvan, he went over to Ethiopia and joined the Ethiopian army in their battle against the Europeans. He was the aide-de-camp to Emperor Menelik of Ethiopia. That's why when you go to his Wikipedia page, you see his military allegiances both to Haiti and the Ethiopian Empire. That right there is Pan-Africanism, baby. So for you not to understand Pan-Africanism, listen, it's all good, bro, because Emperor Menelik understood Pan-Africanism. That's all that matters. Emperor Menelik and Frederick Douglass and a whole bunch of legendary black men understood Pan-Africanism. So if the brother on YouTube don't understand Pan-Africanism, maybe it's just not for you to understand, bro, and that's fine. That's fine. It's not for you to understand. It is what it is, bro. It is what it is. Every Jewish man is not a Zionist, and that's fine. But anyways, apart from that, General Benito Silvan, along with fellow Haitian Antonin Furman, I dropped 2 videos about him in the past week. They were integral in the formation of the first Pan-African Conference in 1900 that was held in London, and also W.E.B. Du Bois and I believe Booker T. Washington were also in attendance. So listen, bro, it's all good, man. It's all good. Emperor Menelik understood the importance of Pan-Africanism. Booker T. Washington understood. W.E.B. Du Bois, he understood. Denmark Vesey, he understood, because after Denmark Vesey's slave rebellion, he had planned to board a ship and sail down to the island of Hispaniola after he was able to escape bondage. Now, of course, unfortunately, the rebellion, it flopped. But during that time, our forefathers understood the importance of Pan-Africanism. Now, if you forgot, if you don't understand the importance, I mean, that's your business, my nigga. That's your business. I mean, it is what it is, bro. I mean, I understand it. The legendary black men of the past, they understood it. So that's all that matters, bro. I'm gonna follow what the legends and the giants were doing. Because when you look throughout history, they're the only ones that are remembered. Nobody remembers the goofball niggas that wasn't Pan-Africanists. Nobody gives a fuck about them niggas in the modern day. What the fuck did they accomplish, nigga? They didn't do shit. All the legendary black men that we look in the past with honor and respect, they were all Pan-Africanists. They all had a Pan-Africanist orientation. They're the only ones that are honored with respect throughout history. Everybody who wasn't a Pan-Africanist, everybody who was still stuck on some tribal bullshit, we don't remember none of them niggas. Fuck them niggas. History is only going to remember the legendary Pan-Africanists. It is what it is. Now, let's continue. Since we're talking about Pan-Africanism, let's take a look on the screen, right? The presidential bus. Haitian President Paul Magloire, General Paul Magloire, happily kisses the hand of Marion Anderson, as we know, the black American famous singer of the time. You know what I mean? We invited her to our 150th anniversary of our independence in Haiti, and when she came through, you know, General Paul Magloire, President Paul Magloire, Chief Paul Magloire was like, you know, what up, baby? What up, baby? You know, I know you're not used to seeing a black man in power, baby. I know you're not used to seeing a black man doing his thing, baby. I know you're not used to seeing a black man wearing these expensive suits, baby. I know you probably thought only white men could wear suits like these, but no, you know, the black man, you know, the black Haitian man, the black tether, you know, yeah, we got nice suit collections over here, baby. How you doing, Mary? You looking so good. You looking so good. You know what I'm saying? How was the trip? The plane was good? Oh, nah, it was like the 1950s. Was the planes around? I don't know. Was the boat good? Was the boat ride good? Oh, you looking good. Where'd you get that dress from, huh? What brand is that? Oh, that's an Italian dress? What's that? Yeah, you looking good. Wait, did General Paul Magloire have the waves spinning? Oh, no, he don't got the wave. I'm about to say, my man had waves back in the 1950s. Yo, you look at the look on her face. She's like, yo, I'm around a black man of power, a black man of influence, the most powerful black man in the Western Hemisphere, the only black head of state in the Western Hemisphere. Oh my God, I'm so honored. I'm not used to this. Yo, listen, look at the energy, bro. Look at the energy. Listen, you talking about Pan-Africanism, man. Ask your woman if the black tether practice Pan-Africanism. Ask your women if the black man from Haiti and the Caribbean and Africa practice Pan-Africanism. Don't ask me. Don't ask the white man. Ask your woman. She'll tell you. She'll tell you. She'll tell you. Yeah. Let's get back into it. As we can see, Marion Anderson was a beautiful black woman. You know, I can see why General Paul Magloire was like, yo, I gotta introduce myself formally. You know, you don't gotta call me General Paul Magloire, baby. You could just call me Paul. You know what I'm saying? You could just call me Paul. You know, you don't gotta call me General. You don't gotta call me President. Just call me Paul. You know what I'm saying? I left my wife. You know, she over there talking to the other dignitaries and the other, you know, people that came through. You know, let's talk me and you. You know what I'm saying? I left Yolette over there. You know, Yolette, she busy right now. Don't worry about Yolette. You know, it's about me and you. How you been? Where you from, baby? You know what I'm saying? Listen, Paul Magloire was a G, man. I guarantee, man. Listen, my man was a smooth cat. General Paul Magloire was a smooth brother. I mean, you could just see it. Listen. Let's jump back into it, man. Damn, hold up. We got to take a time machine back to the mid 1800s. I forgot a piece of information. Let's jump back into it. Since you want to talk about Pan-Africanism, let's talk about it. Look on the screen, my friend. James Theodore Augustus Harley, born October 1829 in Washington, D.C., died in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, was the first African-American bishop in the Protestant Episcopal Church and spent most of his episcopal career as missionary bishop of Haiti. Yes, he did. Yeah, we opened our doors to Bishop Holly and he died in Haiti. His daughter came through. She stayed in Haiti. Like, you know, the Holly family probably still in Haiti right now. You know, we honored him and everything. Like, we look at him as a Haitian. In fact, within the first 10 days of his arrival in Haiti, President Fabre Geoffroy gave him Haitian citizenship in less than 2 weeks. So yeah, man, shout out to Bishop Holly. Big up Bishop Holly. You know, I almost forgot about you, bro. I cannot forget about Bishop Holly. Now, if you look on the screen now, we got Marion Anderson back again. And who is she dancing with? She is dancing with Haitian poet, diplomat, Jean-Fernand Bouillet. Listen, let's get into it. Listen, tell your girl if the tether was Pan-African or not. Ask your women if the tether was Pan-Africanism. All right, Tariq? Ask your women if the tethers practice Pan-Africanism, all right? Because in every picture, Marion Anderson, she with a Haitian man, you know, she got all her teeth out. You know what I'm saying? She's like, oh my God, these men are so powerful. Oh my God, these men really, you know what I'm saying? They're really having it their way. Oh my God, look at their suits. Oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, black men having their own country. Oh my God, black men having power. Oh my God, a black head of state. Oh my God, a black man with an army. Oh my God, a black man with the military uniform. Oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Yo, you already know that coochie was wet, man. Yay. Sorry for the husband. Shout out to what's her husband name? Orpheus Fisher. Hey, shout out to Orpheus. My bad, bro. But you know she came to Haiti. You know she was wet, bro. You know she was wet. You know what I'm saying? You know she was wet. Every picture she smiling ear to ear, bro. You know she was wet. You see Marion Anderson. I almost said Marion Barry. God forgive me. Marion Anderson. She right there. I believe she's to the right, our right, to the lady that's in the white dress, right? To her left, but to our right. You can recognize her, right? She's the one kind of dressed a little different from the rest, right? So yeah, Marion Anderson, she obviously loved being in Haiti, man. She obviously loved being around the, in the black man's domain, where the white boys don't rule. Well, the white boys were still, on our dicks back in them days, but at least back then, the black man had a place to be. She could go and see a black man, in the presidential palace, a black man with his black wife, you know what I'm saying? A black man with his black generals, his black armed guards. I'm telling you, that coochie was wet. That's why she stayed in Haiti. You know what I'm saying? She stayed in Haiti. Every time she came through, you notice she don't even got her man next to her like that. She moving through Haiti by herself, man. Listen, that coochie was wet. That coochie was wet. It's just something about, being around men with power, men with influence, men with autonomy in a world where, there was no autonomy for the black man back in them days in the early 1950s. It's just something that she wasn't used to. Back home, people getting hung from trees. Over here, the black man in the presidential palace, drinking champagne, smoking cigars, you dig? Listen, that coochie was wet. Man, that coochie was wet. Let's get back into it. Up on the screen, we got a headline from an American newspaper. Haiti president says U.S. bias will be bad dream. Haitian President General Paul Magloire, during a 2-day visit to Chicago as part of his 2-week U.S. tour as a guest of President Eisenhower, predicted that discrimination in the United States soon will be a bad dream. Interviewed at a press conference, the president said the Supreme Court's anti-school segregation decision was a good omen for elimination of discrimination. While in Chicago, President Magloire toured the Johnson Publishing Company, a black-owned business, and the Chicago Defender, a black-owned newspaper. At week's end, his party flew to Boston, where he will enter the New England Baptist Hospital for a 2-day checkup. He told reporters he felt well. Listen, man, the black man from Haiti was like, man, I'm gonna come to see what my brothers up in America doing. You know what I'm saying? I heard my brothers in America, they having businesses, they having newspapers, they having publishing companies. Let me see what my brothers is doing. Let me go rock with my brothers up in America, up in Chicago. You dig? President Paul Magloire was like, listen, I know I came to, see, President Eisenhower. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's whatever. But let's see what my brothers in Chicago doing. You know what I'm saying? Let me go see what the Johnson Publishing Company and, the Chicago Defender, you know what I mean? The Chicago Defender, listen, pun intended, yes, they did defend us. The Chicago Defender, even during the U.S. occupation of Haiti, they were defending us. They were like defending the Haitians, like against the U.S. government. So one love to the Chicago Defender, the black-owned newspaper, Chicago Defender. They defended us during the U.S. invasion occupation, and I'll even show love. I'll pay homage to that. That was Pan-Africanism by Black Americans. But even that does not compare to the mountaintop of Pan-Africanism that I've stacked tall in this video over an hour long. This might be 2 hours long. Bro, I'm telling you, bro. Oh, my God, bro. Listen. And in this picture, we actually got pictures when General Paul Magloire came through to Chicago to kick it with the homies, you dig? Haitian President Paul Eugene Magloire was greeted by Chicago society in a Sheraton Hotel reception, sponsored by Dr. Ulysses Daly, who, as we know, was one of the first African Americans recognized in the field of medicine in the United States. So as you know, this was high black society kicking it up in Chicago, black doctors, black lawyers, black presidents, black generals, black artists, black singers. You dig what I'm saying, bro? You dig? You talking about Pan-Africanism, bro. Listen, man, the black man from Haiti, listen, ask your ancestors how the black man from Haiti was mobbing back in them days, man. Ask your ancestors how the black man from Haiti was mobbing back in them days, man. Let's get back into it, man. Listen, sponsored by Dr. Ulysses G. Daly, honorary Haitian consul in Chicago, while champagne bubbled briskly from a fountain and armed guards in tuxedos mingled with the guests, 700 persons gathered to welcome the Magloires and wish them a pleasant U.S. tour. Bro, they came through. Look at everybody, bro. Look at y'all. Listen. Look at Madame Pump. Look at Madame Magloire. All right, we back. Now, for those of y'all who watched my video on the U.S. occupation and invasion of Haiti from 1915, I dropped that last week. We spoke about how the Chicago Defender, that was a black-owned newspaper, a black-owned business. Take a look up on the screen. They actually were in support of the Haitians during their conflict, during their struggle against the U.S. occupation. And the Chicago Defender, that was where General/President Paul Magloire, that is where he visited. That's where you see everybody in their tuxedos, everybody just looking fly, everybody smelling good, everybody looking good. Paul Magloire had made a stop at the Chicago Defender because we ain't forget that, bro. We ain't forget that. We always gonna have love in our heart for that. And when General Paul Magloire came to Chicago, they showed him love. They ain't start talking about no Tariq Nasheed bullshit, talking about what's the benefit of Pan-Africanism, talking about, nigga, you a tethered nigga, bow down to my ancestors that made it possible for you to come here, none of that bullshit. Because even they knew in the 1950s, nigga, people were still getting strung up from a goddamn tree. People were still under segregation. People were still under subjugation. And the black man from Haiti was coming through the United States with armed guards, my nigga. So they showed Paul Magloire love. They showed General Paul Magloire love, welcomed him with open arms, because the founders and the CEOs of the Chicago Defender during that time, they were Pan-Africanists. Yes, they were not only business-minded black men who had their own corporation, had their own media publication, they were also Pan-Africanists. So they were using their platform to defend black people around the world. So don't talk to me about the benefit of Pan-Africanism, bro. If you don't understand the benefit of Pan-Africanism, that means that you haven't studied your ancestors enough. Now, let's get back into it. You talking about Pan-Africanism? Look on the screen. To the left, General Paul Magloire. To the right, President Tubman of Liberia. And as we know, the Liberians are the descendants of black Americans as well. Listen, Pan-Africanism. Look at the black man, bro. Look at the brothers in their tuxedos and their champagne. Yo, listen, everybody black in the building. Look at the jewelry on our women. Look at we suited and booted. Hey, listen. Pan-Africanism in the suit. You dig? Pan-Africanism in the damn suit. Heads of state, you know what I'm saying? Out of Africa, out the Caribbean, you know what I'm saying? Pass the champagne, yeah. Look at my pinky ring, yeah. Pass the cigar, yeah. Look at my wife, yeah. All right, we back. Now, I love this example because it encapsulates so many things, right? It also debunks the claim that guys like Tariq Nasheed and Philip Scott make, talking about we never flee, we never leave the country. Well, if y'all never flee, then how the fuck did Liberia get established? Not only that, look at the Pan-Africanism amongst the Liberians and the Haitians. You know what I'm saying? After my boy Paul Magloire left out of Chicago, meeting with the brothers out of Chicago, my man went over to Liberia to kick it with the homies out of Liberia. You know what I'm saying? Champagne sipping, big cigars smoking, got our women rocking jewelry, rocking ice, rocking diamonds. Man, listen, bro, Pan-Africanism in the motherfucking building. Now, let's continue. The Tethers was just moving through the city like we owned it. The Tethers was just moving through the city, mobbing like mob bosses. You dig what I'm saying? Checking our brothers, checking our black American brothers. Like, what up, bro? We up in the city, bro. Where you at? You know what I'm saying? We up in we chilling with the president. We chilling with the Chicago Defender. We chilling up in Chicago with the rich black man. You know what I'm saying? Listen. We up with the black elite. We with the white elite. We. Listen. Keep in mind, this is the 1950s, bro, when, churches is getting bombed and people was getting abducted into the woods and people still getting hung from trees and people still getting lynched. Listen, this is major stuff. This is major stuff, bro. Major stuff, bro, that Tariq will never tell his audience because, like I said, he needs to sell t-shirts. Let's get back into it. Now on the screen, we got General Paul Magloire in the center. He is pictured here with the administration of President William Tubman, I believe. And this is the homies out in Liberia. You got to understand, during this time, it was only 3 independent black heads of state at the time, right? The head of state of Ethiopia, the head of state of Liberia, and the head of state of Haiti. Everybody else was under colonization, exploitation, got their boot on their neck, got a foot up their butt. Everybody else was under colonization to the fullest degree. Liberia, Haiti, Ethiopia, the only place where the black man had some semblance of power and freedom over his daily life. Everybody else got a white boot up their butt. Let's get back into it. Pictured in this photo, you got General Paul Magloire, and then you got Vice President William Tolbert, I believe his name was. And as you can see, the brothers, suited and booted as always. General Paul Magloire to the left. Then you got, Vice President Tolbert in the center, with the glasses. And then you got the homies, the Liberian homies in the back, I guess the armed guards in the army, you know what I'm saying? We got, heads of state and diplomats flying in, we got to have them well respected and well connected and well protected. You dig what I'm saying? So yeah, man, look at the black man, in his power, in his dignity, in his prime. You talking about Pan-Africanism, you talking about Liberia to the Caribbean. Yeah, man, we flying in. The brothers from Liberia flew into Haiti. We was popping champagne, smoking cigars with our women. And yeah, Haitians came through to Liberia. We came to Liberia to visit our homies. And we came to Chicago to visit the black Americans. And we went to Cuba to visit the homies. All right, we back. Now, I guess I can end it out with this picture right here. These pictures right here of President Duvalier and Emperor Haile Selassie, you know what I mean? From the Caribbean to Ethiopia, you know what I'm saying? What up? So it is what it is, man. Listen, like I said, everybody is a product of their environment. So my orientation politically as a Pan-Africanist was influenced by the literature that I was forced to read as a child, by my upbringing, the stories that I was told by my mother, my grandmother, things like that. Listen, everybody is a product of their environment. If the brother doesn't understand the importance of having a Pan-Africanist mindset, that's fine. Pan-Africanism is simply a political orientation. It's not an identity. It's not a culture. It's not a nationality. It's simply a political orientation. Like there are liberals, there are conservatives, there are libertarians, there are capitalists, there are socialists, there are communists, and then there are Pan-Africanists. Now, listen, you could frame the question in a similar way. You could say, what's the benefits of being a conservative? What's the benefits of being liberal? What's the benefits of being, capitalist? What's the benefits of being a communist? At the end of the day, that's going to be up to you and your individual political orientation. Me personally, I find that Pan-Africanism is the best political orientation for me. I find that it makes the most sense to me as someone that travels, as someone that has business interests in multiple locations and multiple continents. I find that Pan-Africanism is the best fit for me. It might not be the best fit for you. Maybe you're more, aligned with liberal ideologies or conservative ideologies or whatever it may be. Maybe you're just a capitalist or a socialist, but me, I'm a Pan-Africanist. Why? Because that is how I honor my ancestors. That is how I pay homage to them. For me not to be a Pan-Africanist would be an insult for the blood that was shed, for the sacrifices that was made, and everything in between for me to be here. Without Pan-Africanism, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be standing here right now. Without Pan-Africanism, I would probably still be on a motherfucking sugar plantation somewhere in the Caribbean right now. Pan-Africanism is the only reason I'm a free human being and I'm no longer under the shackles of slavery. So me being a Pan-Africanist, which basically just means having a love, unity, and cooperation with black people wherever you find them, wherever you meet them, wherever you travel to, I feel like people make it way more complex than it really needs to be, and also using the resources at your disposal to make sure that black people, whether domestically or abroad, are well protected against any foreign adversaries coming up against them, plotting on their destruction. For me, I don't think it's a complex ideology, man. Just love your fellow black person. That's all, man. Just love your fellow black person. That's all you got to do. Is it really that complex to ask people to love each other? I don't really understand it, man. Now, of course, my ideology is shaped by my culture, my worldview, the literature of my ancestors. Everybody does not have, everybody's not shaped in the same way. Everybody does not have the same history. Me personally, I'm well connected to the ideology of Pan-Africanism because, like I said, without Pan-Africanism, then I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't exist. And also, the people who are detractors of Pan-Africanism, they can't really present me an ideology that makes more economic and political sense, to where I could say, okay, if this policy or if this ideology was enacted, then black people around the world would be placed in a more advantageous position. They have yet to offer me any other ideology and back it with historical facts. Not only can I defend my position, I can present you historical facts to also defend my position. So at the end of the day, bro, until y'all can present me with a different ideology, an ideology that is superior to Pan-Africanism, and also back it with historical facts where it was enacted in the past and it produced beneficial results, then I'm not trying to hear shit in regards to Pan-Africanism, okay? These dudes talking about this FBA shit, we gotta separate, we gotta divide and all this bullshit. The last time black people did that was during the transatlantic slave trade, all right? We already did that bullshit back in the past, that separate, delineate, you not my people, I'm not your people. We did that in the 1600s and the 1700s and the 1800s when black men were selling whole entire families and lineages into slavery because during that time, our forefathers did not have a Pan-Africanist orientation. Our forefathers had an orientation similar to FBA where they were like, listen, I'm from this nation, you from that nation, and I'm gonna sell you into slavery if necessary. So I'm not trying to go back to that bullshit, all right? I already studied the history and I realized that separation, divide, delineate bullshit, that shit don't produce nothing except selling niggas into slavery. So if y'all want to go back to 1745 when niggas was selling each other into slavery for a brand new musket, knock yourself out. But at the end of the day, like I said, the black man with that tribal, regional, isolated mindset, nobody remembers them or honors them in history. The only black men that are honored and respected in history are the black men who were able to see the bigger picture and had a Pan-Africanist orientation in regards to their politics. At the end of the day, the legends are Pan-Africans. Nobody gives a fuck about nobody else. Them other niggas that wasn't Pan-African, nobody knows their names. Fuck them niggas. Anyways, man, it's your boy Neferkari Desaline back in the Billy. Yes, indeed. Like, share, subscribe, cash app in the description. And I'm gone. Peace.
Reincarnated, I'm back in original fashion. I left on a horse and came back in the ass, and I left with abundance and came back to famine. We used to be pyramids, now we be rapping. Look how the mighty have fallen. Used to be running, now we be walking. When you be cooning, that's when they applauded. Selling your soul, your sons and your daughter. Gotta come up in this shit, they stuck in the mix. Really, my heart it be breaking. That's why I'm stacking that paper and handle my business. Pass it down in generation. Talking about money and power and building a nation. That's a deadly combination. Never be watching the TV, they pushing agendas, falsifying information. Know they got malice intentions. Step in the room and I'm feeling the tension. Enemy watching me blocking my vision. Pay for the check cause I need my redemption. Building my kingdom, I need it protected. Ready for war like a young money Congo. Never decided the team is the motto. Up in the crib and I'm whipping up waffles. Up in the crib and I'm smoking gelato. I'm chilling, I'm taking my pain and make it ambition. I'm blessed by the gods, but I ain't religious. I came for the power, they came for the bitch. They making no hourly wage. I got business, this is an art and they could never be taught. Selling my soul, I can never be bought. Play with my money, I see you in court. Run to the check and I do it for sport. Babylon falling, I go to the source. Packing my luggage and go overseas. Shorty be with me and she so elite. Shorty be chocolate, I'm calling her Hershey. Secret intelligence probably gon' murk me. Don't fuck with brands cause nigga I'm Haitian. Say the wrong shit and you're smacking their faces.